Question says, its initials MZU, Birmingham, UK. Can we pray behind the Hanafi Imam for Witr? As long as he isn't doing something which is against the ijma' of the Muslims, something which is in clear contradiction to the authentic sunnah, there's nothing wrong with praying behind someone who's Hanafi, Shafi'i, Maliki, Hanbali, Zahiri, etc. etc. What's important is we have to understand something that's very important, very dangerous. We live in a time in which there are people who say that this person is clearly not on the sunnah. This person is clearly upon bid'ah. This person is clearly upon haram. But in actuality, when you sit down and you use a microscope, the microscope of the deen, it's not so clear. And if it was that dead smack in the face clear, this person of religion and piety wouldn't be practicing it. And they wouldn't be doing it. If it was that clear. There's a difference between as-sarih wal-zahir. As-sarih, that's the clear, direct. The dalil and the dilala. It's authentic and it's right to the point. And then there's that which is zahir. The dalil is authentic, but it's not right to the point, but it's possible. It's possible. It leads to the direction that this is the correct view, but it's not sarih. So how can you take the zahir and say that it's sarih? This happens all of the time. It's clearly haram. What's clearly haram about it? And then when you sit down and you start numbering the points, it's not haram at all. As someone may say. Someone may say. You do the interview with a woman. It's clearly haram. What's clearly haram about doing an interview with a woman? It could be haram, but what's clearly haram? Is he alone with her? Is he touching her? Is he lusting off of her? Is he staring at her? Those are the things that will make the interview with a woman to be what? Clear. No, I never said haram. I did not say that. I said what? Clearly haram. That's the whole point. We still didn't get. Clearly haram. It could be haram, this scholar doing an interview with a woman. Maybe. But it isn't what? Clearly haram. Now if it was him or her doing an interview, no one else was watching. It wasn't public. There was no one in the studio. They're sitting alone in a room. Then that's what? Clearly haram. Because of the text of the sunnah about secluding yourself with a woman and you're not a mahram for her. That's clearly haram. Me and her were traveling together on an airplane. Or not even an airplane, because that's an issue today with regards to the means of travel. Say we're walking. We're going to walk somewhere far, from one city to another, one state to another. At nighttime, on horses, on a camel. Me and her alone. That's clearly what? Haram, because of the authentic sunnah. Do not travel with a woman unless you're a mahram for that woman. I'm touching her. She's not my mahram. I'm not her mahram. That's clearly what? Haram. We're doing an interview and I'm staring at her and I'm lusting off of her. I'm looking at her eyes and her neck and her face and her breast and so on and so forth. That's what?
Haram.
No. See how we don't get it? That's clearly what? Clearly haram. Because of the nusus, the text. Somebody may say, you can't do an interview with a woman because it's unbefitting. Person of sunnah, person of knowledge. The people are going to start doing it. They're going to take it. You know, you looked up at her. She smiled at you. She was staring at you. مثلا كذا وكذا. ممكن. ماشي. But that's all going to be what? That's going to be all what? Ijtihad. The text is what? Traveling, secluding, touching, lusting, etc. That's mansus alayh. And anything which has text, mansus alayh, it can be what? Clearly haram. Rather, all the different classes that we have done, how many times have we seen when there's dalil and it still isn't what? Clearly haram or clearly obligatory. And the Sahaba, the companions themselves, they what? They did what? They differed. And we're reading the hadith in Bukhari, Muslim, Lu'lu Marjan, the Prophet. And Ibn Abbas said no. Salat al-Asr, Salat al-Wusta, so on and so forth. Everybody understand this? So the people have to fear Allah and they have to stop this nonsense of taking ijtihad and forcing people into ijma'. They have to stop this. If that's the view that you take and you adopt, that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. This is the view. It's difference of opinion and I feel this is correct. This is the correct way. طيب, لا بأس. But it's ijtihad and then it cannot become an issue of what? Ijma'. Which is clear dalil. الَّذِي يُضَلَّلُ فِيهِ الْمُخَالِفِ. And which the one who says otherwise is now said to be what? Upon misguidance. Everybody clear on this or not? And even if the person is upon misguidance in one issue, that does not necessitate that he's outside of the sunnah. It does not necessitate that a person is what? Dal, mudil, because of a mistake, which is actually proven to be a mistake. Let alone, Abdul Qawi, if what he said or did isn't a what? Mistake. And the criticizer is actually what? He's wrong, he's mistaken. Or, at worst, it's what? A and B. The dalil is here and the dalil is what? And it could be a different way. This is the environment in which we live. We're not talking about people that don't practice the religion. We're not talking about people of bid'ah. We're talking about people who attribute themselves to ilm. They have this attitude and this mindset. It's very dangerous. It's very dangerous. And it's caused a great deal of harm. And it has split and separated many of people. And has hindered the sunnah from reaching its full gallop. Tied up the thoroughbred horse. And Allah knows best.